Good afternoon, family. Thanks for checking out today's video. If you are new here, my name is Jonathan, and I created this channel as a way to record my progress as I work towards my goal of losing 300 pounds in 3 years. If you'd like to join the family, hit that subscribe button. Also, click on that bell icon so you get notified when I go live or post new videos. If you'd like to participate in on the discussion like Christy here, happy Monday to you too, Christy. You can join me most weekdays on my live streams, or outside of my live stream, you can consider joining the Discord. There is a link for that down in the description below. Also, if you are interested in getting some ideas of the meals that our family enjoys, we have created a link to a Pinterest board that's down in the description below, and that just has a lot of our family's favorite whole food plant-based meals on it. Today is day 666. That is not a lucky number, right? It's not a good number at all. Of my 3-year challenge to lose 300 pounds. I've used a combination of extended water fasting and a whole food plant-based SOS free diet, which SOS free means salt, oil, sugar free, to lose over 200 pounds. I have a little over 14 months left to go to lose this last 100-ish pounds, and I'm looking forward to reaching my goals and maintaining a healthy weight for the rest of my life. If anybody has any non-scale victories they'd like to share, I'd love to hear your non-scale victories. If you have any on-scale victories, I'd love to hear those too as well. If you're having trouble getting back on track or starting a diet, let us know what you're trying to do or what's keeping you from getting started, and maybe we can help out. So I'm going to switch over to this screen here. Oh, I really had to talk myself into going live today. I don't really have a ton to talk about. I don't feel extremely happy with how the weekend went, but I know I've been going on about this for the past couple of weeks, but I'm just in a hard part of the diet right now. Pretty Girl's mom says, "Hey, you there," or say, "Hey, you, there you are." Hi, everyone. Hi to you too, Pretty Girl's mom. And Shy saying, "Hey, I hope you had a good weekend this weekend." For us, it was not a bad weekend. I ended up being a little bit more active than I expected, but nothing too crazy. I guess I'll go into it as think about what I did this weekend. But I only took a few food photos of the food we had this weekend that I will share those real quick. Trying to even think of what I had. It was bad, but it wasn't a great weekend. So I just took a couple photos of the food that I did have. Friday night, we had one of my new favorite meals. I think it's just white bean something in polenta is, I believe, what it's called. I'm not sure. Let me pull up the photo here. And it's not working. Of course it's not working. But I got a feeling I know why. Give me a second, guys. I don't have my Wi-Fi turned on my phone. That would be why. Let's try one more time. I was having some internet issues earlier. So this is one of my new favorite meals that we have. It is polenta and beans, spinach, tomatoes, and some mushrooms in there as well. Very good meal. Carrie, something about the recipe got screwed up on Friday. I made a joke with her that had she made it this way the first time, I don't know that I would have asked for it a second time. Still, it was decent. It just was, the texture was off. The base was a lot runnier than she normally makes it. But overall, it was food and I enjoyed it. But that was dinner Friday. Saturday, I had some shredded wheat with pineapple. I overloaded the pineapple here. This was my daughter dying of hunger at the park on Sunday here. And then I think I took a photo of breakfast today, which was the sweet oatmeal that we have sometimes with bananas and apples. If you followed along when we were having this regularly, we would put almond butter in it. I have started to not put any nut butter in it when we have it. We don't generally have the sweet oatmeal with the bananas and the apples. But I enjoyed it without the peanut butter. And really it just, I think would have just added calories without adding to the breakfast. So those were the photos of the meals. I feel like, so it wasn't that I ate big meals that were the problem out of the house. It was the snacking on some of the kids' things that really got to me this weekend. The two things I can think of that I had more of than I should have. There's this thing called Kind bars, Kind bars. Carrie had gotten a box of them. They're not very big, but they're like a granola bar. That I had a couple of those this weekend. And then also she had gotten some chocolate covered blueberries, which I had a little bit of those that I stole from the kids. And then that just kind of by, allowing myself those little bits of things that I shouldn't have allowed myself, I'm sure that there was other occasions where I grabbed something that I shouldn't have had of theirs. This past weekend, I'm working and getting better at this. But like I talked last week, I do need to just go full abstinence, full back into it. And I'm right there. I don't know what's keeping me from doing it. It just seems like anytime I get, 10 hours stacked up that I just kind of kill myself on it. Give me 1 second. I got to check something here because my office is extremely hot. So I have to either open the door or change something. Give me 1 second here. Okay, I'm back. Something happened with the thermostat at work here. It was set to like 76 degrees. So I knew that something was wrong because it usually doesn't get that hot in my office. And I'm starting to sweat again. This is flashbacks to my old office when I had to use a portable AC unit to keep it, below 85 degrees. So this weekend didn't do awful, but could have done better. And I just need to get back into it. I am continuing to put little bits of time together, but can't really hardly say that I'm getting more than a couple days in before I allow something to tempt me or to just convince myself that it's just a little snack. It's just a little something. It's not, it's in the grand scheme, it's not a big deal, right? And it is kind of a big deal when I'm trying to lose weight. And so I was looking to see kind of how long I've been at this point. And it's been frustrating because I've hit that year mark where I can kind of, or I have to kind of say I've made no progress over the past year as far as weight loss goes. And that's extremely frustrating because up until recently, I could at least say, well, at least I'm still 20 pounds lighter than I was last year. At least I'm still 50 pounds lighter than I was last year, 100 pounds lighter than I was last year. Now I'm the same weight as I was last year at this time. And that is frustrating to have that kind of happen. I talked a little bit last week about the procrastination that I do suffer from from procrastinating. And I know that it might not be the argument that I'm giving myself every time that I break, but I have this in the back of my head that I've given myself another 14 months. So I really don't have to push it until I get to like 6 months out. And then it becomes to a point where I have to do something or else I can't get it done. And so it's something where I don't know that that's been, I don't know that that's been like the reason why, but I know that afterwards I can sit here and I can comfort myself with saying, well, you have time still. You still have time. And so I have to kind of remove that illusion that I've created in some way. Christy says that you've been watching Dr. Lisle. Try focusing on process, not outcome. I like that. And I do need to focus on the process because that hits. Yeah, I get exactly that. Because if I was focusing more on the process and not the results, then I wouldn't use that to convince because for me, it's the results of the 3 years. It's where am I on November 1st, 2023. That's what I'm worried about. And that keeps me from worrying about where I'm at on August 29th, 2022. So I do like that suggestion, Christy. And it's so Thanksgiving goal, Barbara says. Yeah, well, I mean, I tried to create a goal for myself at the beginning of the year with kind of my 3 resolutions for 2022. And one of those was to reach my goal weight this year. And I just haven't pushed it. And I do need to, I do need to come up with some short-term goals or some goals that are shorter term. I think for me, maybe keeping track of the days that I recommit. It's tough to sit here on a mic and talk about this because I know what I need to be doing and I know what I know what I need to do. And I just need to go back to the diet that I started on and commit to it and just make the decision one time. And Colin says, yes, recommit. We're here for it. I know, but how do I recommit? It's so frustrating because it's just this. Colleen says that they're back from vacation. They're 4.5 pounds up, and it wasn't on purpose. All that added oil was sure to add up. Next time, you'll have to make a very conscious effort. Yeah, Yes, the pleasure trap. Yes, it's all. Um, so it's been a while since I talked about this, I suppose, and it's not anything I plan on talking about, but it's that getting started again thing. It's uh the years I spent arguing with myself. I'm doing it again. I've been doing it again for the past month. This constant, Monday, tomorrow, next meal. It's not that bad. It's all these justifications you give yourself for these bad choices. And then it's the pushing off of that recommitment. And I am just so frustrated that I'm causing myself to go through these same things that I thought I was clear of from 2 years ago. And it's it's that recommitment. It's that holding yourself accountable. And how you can only hold yourself so accountable. And once you give in to yourself, it's easy to kind of continue that. So people try to create a support network. And for years, I always had it in the back of my head where I would be driving to work, or I would decide the night before, hey, tomorrow's going to be the day, or this is now the time I'm going to do it. But I would always hold back from telling anybody, because once I said it to somebody, then it became a real thing. And so for a very long time, it was, once I tell Carrie I'm going to do this, then it'll happen. And then and then it'll be the thing, and it'll happen. And that happened in 2020 with this channel. Is I finally got up the courage to tell somebody I was going to do it. And then I did something stupid and started this channel and told a bunch of people what I was doing. But I just haven't been able to bring myself to recommit that hard again. And it's right there. And it's not even going to be difficult for me to recommit again. It's just doing it. Let's see. Barb says, don't ego trap yourself. Focus on the basics and don't set your goals too high. I really like the ego trap, and I've listened to Dr. Lisle's lectures on it. And I think it's really kind of something that I've gotten to that point where I created this unrealistic expectation, not unrealistic. I created an expectation of myself. And then when I fell short, I'm clearing the chessboard, as I think he says, even in the thing, that I'm the kid that just got upset with the game, and I'm just clearing the board because it's not going my way. Let's see. Colleen says that was their first cruise as a vegan, but now you know the deal. Alaska was incredible, and you did a super hard hike that you're proud of. That's awesome that you were able to do that. And then you say the pleasure trap feels like it never ends. I think that the pleasure trap is a permanent fixture in our lives for sure. And Carrie's talking about my in-laws are going. And then Christy says she's right there with me. So I am. There was fresh. Colin says there was fresh fruit. Yeah. So I'm just. I'm going to do it. I'm going back to it. I think that what I need to do is start counting up the days that I am committed and keep that going for as long as possible. When I first started this channel, and up until a year ago, when I would put This is day 350. This is day 450. It was, it felt like it meant more because I was committed and I was on point for all of those 300 days. And now when I put the days, like today is day 666, it's still amazing that I've been focusing on this and that I haven't let myself get back to where I was, but it doesn't hold the same weight. And so I may start a new counter or tracking a new goal as part of this whole series as well, or this weight loss that I'm doing. And just create smaller chunks, or create some sort of like, okay, so I'm 300 today. I need to be 275 by Thanksgiving or by Halloween or something, like I need to create some measurable marks that I actually hit and I work to hit for my weight loss. And Carrie's saying, yeah, that I could put pictures of everything I eat on the Discord for a few days just to create extra accountability. Yeah, that would be good. And then Barbara says today is day one of, how many? Day one of 10,000. Day one of 650 more, or 666 more. Colleen says, I appreciate seeing struggles like this because so many YouTube people out there are like, oh yeah, I lost my weight. The end. It's like, really? No struggles now? Come on, that's not real life. Yes, I talked about this a little bit last week, but yeah, that's a big reason why I started this channel, was to show the whole process, to show this 3-year time span, win, lose, or draw. And just be what it is. The diet I'm eating is not the diet I expected to eat when I started this. The things, the doctors I listened to are not the doctors I thought I was going to listen to. The ideas I have about food are not anywhere near what I thought about food 667 days ago. So, that was a big part of me starting this, because without recording this multiple times a week or many times a month, you wouldn't see the struggles, you wouldn't see the changes, you wouldn't see the ups and downs of it all. And yeah, Carrie says this is real and it's difficult to show up here every day while in the midst of this struggle. This was getting on here. Day 250 was easy. Day 180, easy peasy. Get on here and talk about how great things are going. I'm losing weight every day. It was great. It's much tougher. I mean, I was one click away today between doing a stream or putting a community post out that said, hey, not today. But I'm here today. Barbara asked if I had a blood panel done recently. I did. I had a blood panel done a month or two ago. I went and saw the doctor. Pretty much everything came out well. The item, or the one thing that I was surprised about, was my thyroid was underactive. So that prompted me to read the Neil Barnard book, Your Body in Balance. And I haven't really taken too much of that, what he talks about, into play, but mostly what he talks about is just eating a whole food plant-based diet. And I was already kind of doing that, or I have been doing that. But everything else was great. The vitamin D, B12, cholesterol numbers were all good. It was the underactive thyroid, which also might be causing the issue with me not losing weight as fast as I would like. there was just something I was thinking about with the thyroid. Increasing my metabolic rate is something that I have seen a couple things on recently, that I might look into foods that will help with increasing my overall metabolic rate. Right now, I started reading the Walter Longo book, The Longevity Diet, and I'm really liking the book. The diet that he's recommending in this book is, oh, I don't know what happened there. My phone just, so far, I'm just now getting into the diet aspect of the book, which is like chapter 4 of the book. The basis of the Walter Longo's diet in the Longevity Diet book is pescatarian. It says very heavily whole food, plant-based, with fish 2 to 3 times a week is what he suggested so far in this. I don't intend to eat pescatarian. I'm not going to start eating fish. Fish, while it's probably the first meat or the most acceptable animal product to add back into your diet, maybe. I don't even know if that's really a thing. It probably has the greatest chance of being contaminated by toxins because of the environment that we raise the fish in. But the other aspects of the diet that he's talked about so far is that he pushes for eating 2 meals a day and a snack is what he says. And it sounds like one of the 2 meals should be the dominant meal, and then the other meal just a smaller meal. So it's essentially, I think what he says is to eat a breakfast, not a huge breakfast, and then either have a large lunch or a large dinner, depending on what works best for your schedule and for your sleep habits. Is actually one of the things he talks about, is that if you eat a bigger meal later in the day, it may cause you to have worse sleep. But essentially that you should have one large meal, like only have one meal that's like a super big meal. And then I think that also helps to curb overeating, because you only have one big meal a day and it's hard to eat in excess of calories when you're just doing it one meal a day. Whereas, at one point we had a physical trainer telling us that we should be eating 5 meals a day. And the problem with that is that it's really easy to overeat. So if you're eating 5 meals a day and you're trying to have a 2,000 calorie diet, then each of those meals has to be 400 calories. If you accidentally round up on all those meals and have 450 calories each meal, then you would have had an extra 250 calories. Where if you had one meal that was supposed to be a 800 calorie meal, and then you overate by 50 calories, then you've only overeaten 50 calories for the day. So there's a little bit of, or I understand where he kind of came from with that, because we've done the eat every couple hours, just snack a little bit every couple hours diets. And it definitely leads to a lot of overeating. Shai says she's excited to see some of the things that I used to eat. I am going to go back to that. I'm doing it. It's really the only diet that causes me to lose weight. The Another thing that I've talked about or thought about with the diet is that there were a few things that we've had in our diet over the past year that we've removed from our diet. And I'm not going back to any one item specifically, but just off the top of my head, some of the healthier choices that I've made that are not the healthiest choices was the nut butters that I've gotten rid of, or I'd gotten rid of most of the nut butters, the fruit juices that outside of like our sweet oatmeal, I don't drink fruit juice out of a cup like I was for a while. Avocado is a food item that I was having on toast for a while that I felt like I was abusing or eating too much avocado. Cashews are another one. Almonds, not as big as cashew, but nuts in general. And it's this weird gap that I created with my diet where I have these super healthy foods that everybody kind of agrees that are not bad for you. Just the whole food plant-based, just the eating fruits and vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes, not seeds, not nuts. But anyways, you guys get what I'm trying to say, I think. I have this super healthy diet, this SOS free. You can even go as far as Chef AJ does, get rid of flour, sofas, free, whatever, her, everything. And then I had these items that were on the fringe of that diet that I was testing. And then I started cutting them out of my diet, saying, no, we can't do that. No, we can't do that. No, we can't do that. And it created this weird jump where it was from eating a super healthy diet to, well, I can't have these things that are on the fringe, but I just jumped over all those fringe things and just went to the sodas and the candies and the salty chips and the crap foods that are, like, it's not the food's fault that I did that. It's just that I just created this weird thing where it went from when I would drive home, I would think, well, at least I have some cherry juice when I get home. I'll have cherry juice. Now it's, well, I don't have cherry juice at home. I want something sweet right now. Let me stop and get something sweet right now. I can't just get the cherry juice because it is only sold at Costco, which you have to have a membership to go get and all this other crap. So anyways, it's just an excuse I'm throwing out there, but it's something that I've thought about over the last couple of days, how it's weird where I created this, this perfect diet, but then I got rid of any safety nets that were reasonable. And it left me with kind of where I'm at now. Yeah, it's just me getting back into it. I'm gonna get back into it. And I just don't know, like Barbara said, today's day one of however many, safety nets. Love that idea. Colin says, yeah, I wish, yeah, and not that, again, I'm sitting here talking like I'm getting my ass kicked with this diet, but in reality, I'm doing great. Like, I'm not in a bad spot. I think that what's messing with me the most right now is that I'm going through those same mental arguments that I had to go through prior to starting this. I'm having those same, well, what's it going to hurt if you just do this time, or get back to it, or you've done great all day, or you've, like all of those reasons. that I used to give myself and I gave into, I'm doing it again, or I'm getting back to those habits. And it's really frustrating because I thought I kicked the fat boy out, but he's still in there somewhere. Barbara says new safety nets, fresh fruits, veggies. Yes, I need to have better safety nets, or at least recognize that those are where I need to be going, because I have not grabbed the banana and ate a banana like I was 4 months into this. Like if I got hungry at 6:45 at night, I'd go over and I would grab a banana, an apple, or an orange. And that's not what I'm doing right now. And that's part of the issue that I'm running into. But I'm excited to continue with this Walter Longo book, The Longevity Diet. I really like the topics that he's going over. I'm a bit of a I just want to live forever. So I like the idea of a longevity diet. Not that I want to live, but I want to see my kids get old, and I want to see my kids have kids and them get old. I don't want to miss out on all those years that I would have lost had I not started this. So the idea of increasing my longevity, especially after I did such a shit job of maintaining myself for the first 40 years of my life. If I can do anything to get me to another 40, that would be what, I need to focus on. That's what I need to keep talking, that's what I need to think about, like I did it to, and a lot of it is changing my mindset and my mentality. Like today on my way in, I got thinking, I could stop and get a soda. And then I was like, you know what? I just need to get water. I'm just thirsty. I don't need soda. I need something to cure my thirst. But my head goes to soda because that is the highest dopamine responsive item I could have that would quench my thirst. So I got to work. I got my cup of water. So that's what I got to work on. Pretty Girl's mom says sweet potato and fruit work for your sweet tooth and bubbly. Hi guys, Anthony, what's going on? Yes, sweet potatoes. Says it's going to hurt because it just tastes like more. I'm not sure what you meant by that, Pretty Girl's mom, but that might have. Yeah, Anthony, you're a little off. We're 3:30, 4:30, 4:40. Yeah, you must have not reset your clock or something. Yeah, we're a little bit late today. I'm just rambling about my inability to stay committed to my diet. But you did the time warp. But I'm recommitting. Tomorrow will be, today, right now, the future, but it'll be day 2 of whatever, it's the diet's going to be the SOS free. I just don't see any other way that I'm going to lose weight the way I want to. The other thing, again, going to the losing weight the way I want to, is I do need to be a bit more active. Yesterday, I ended up going and being outside a lot more than I had anticipated, and I'm really glad that I was outside as much as I was. Oh, okay. It was in response to it was a little bit gonna hurt. Yes. Does it taste like more? Yeah. Carrie says she's making a healthy dinner, and I have a great support system, so it's definitely my fault that I'm screwing up. Because she does make great meals, and we have wonderful food, but we also are not great at holding each other accountable either. When you first start as a couple, it's kind of nice. You can hold each other accountable, but over time, when one of you starts to falter, it's hard for the other one to keep their resolve. And then it's really easy to convince each other to go grab something. Yeah, Barb says Japanese potatoes. We haven't had those in a while. We had Japanese potatoes. What did we have? With like chickpeas on it or something? Like roasted chickpeas. It was really good. Or garbanzo beans. Yeah. That sounds like a great treat this afternoon. Anthony, should I watch the replay to get the full story? Yeah, I mean, it's not really a story. I'm just talking about my frustrations with it and just how the big thing for me is that little devil on my shoulders is always there, you know, like the what's it gonna hurt? How's it, you know, you can make up for this in the future by changing your habits. You know, it's never gonna happen, but you convince yourself of it. So it's not really a story. Like I didn't like go like off the rails and just eat like binge myself this weekend. It's just the continual frustration that I can't stay as committed as I was on day 100. Is just what I'm going over. Chrissy says, Jen Hawk says, it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility. I like it. It is not my fault. It is not my fault, but it is my responsibility to fix it. That's for sure. I like that. I like Jen Hawk. I like Dr. Lisle. Really waiting for that book to come out. They're supposed to have a book coming out, but Carrie says, I need to bring my bike home. Yeah. And then she says, it's so true. One of us decides to be naughty and the other one just kind of gives in. Christy says that her and her husband sabotage each other. She wrote intentionally, but then she wrote unintentionally. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that was a slip or what, right? Christy says what you, yeah. Barb says what Christy says. Yes. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's been part of the process though, right? It's like what it is. It's that like somebody else said earlier, it's not just, hey, I decided to lose weight, snap my fingers, I'm 300 pounds later. It's a lot tougher than that. And, you know, it's, there's also that, there's a little bit of that, regret's not the right word, but it's frustration over what could be, like where I could be had we not decided to have something that had salt, oil, and sugar in it. You know, if we'd have stuck 100% to our diet, like where would I be today? If I don't even know what day it would have been. It would have been 330 days ago, like day 330, I guess it would have been. Where would I be? Because that's almost half the time I've been doing this. I've been stuck for like half the time I've been doing this. God damn it. Now I'm going to get frustrated. So the first 330 days were great. The last 333 days I've been at a standstill. So I got to make the next 333 days count. And that'll put me at day 999. And he's saying day 666. Da da da. Da da da. Yes. So, all right. I rambled enough for today. Thanks, guys, for listening to me. Tomorrow, I'll be back on here talking about how awesome it is to be back on my diet and committed. because I need to be perfect. Like the swelling, actually the swelling on my leg went way down. I'm not a doctor, but I don't know, I didn't even think about this from this weekend. This is part of the reason why I was having such a frustrating weekend too, was I ended up having alcohol on Friday night for the first time. A couple years. First time in a couple years that I've had alcohol. And I had alcohol on Friday night. It was whiskey. I had a little bit of whiskey. And I don't know that this is related in any way, but the swelling in my calf went way down on Saturday, which really surprised me because my diet was not perfect leading up to the swelling going way down. So the only thing I could think of that I had that would have affected anything was having that little bit of whiskey on Friday night, which is really weird. I'm not a doctor. I'm just saying things that happen. So, Pretty Girl's mom says 100% you can do it for one day. Barbara says, have a great 24 hours, one day at a time. I like that. I'm going to do it. I appreciate all your guys' support and still following along. I know I've lost a few people here probably recently because of my not being able to advance in my weight loss, but I do appreciate all you guys following and supporting me. I'm looking forward to reaching my goal. It's still the plan. I've not done anything that's going to keep me from that. It's just not as linear as I'd hoped when I started. So thanks again for all the support. If you haven't started your diet yet, get started right now. There is nobody that reaches their goals, looks back, and wishes they would have started. I'm struggling to get to my goals, but I absolutely wish I would have started sooner because, if tomorrow is the first day of the second half of this diet, then I'd be further. I'd already be that far along. I just wish I would have started sooner. And I know many people wish they would have started sooner. But thanks again, everybody. I will be back on tomorrow to give you an update about my next 24 hours. Barb says, this is the real part. Yes, absolutely. You guys all have a great evening.